Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mixer, episode 180. Happy weekend, little bonus weekend episode for you guys because I was running late this week. But I hope wherever in the world you're watching from, you are getting to enjoy the weekend as much as humanly possible. Now, in today's episode, we've got two chances at silverware. We've got a Premier League title run in, which will hopefully see us go back-to-back Premier Division champions for this season. And we've also got an FA Cup final, which should be a huge contest. A competition that we didn't win last year, but definitely want to get back to winning ways in again this season. We're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump straight in and see how we've gotten on. So, first and foremost, and it sucks when this happens, but off screen we have won the Premier Division already heading into the last game of the season. I think when we said yesterday we wanted to come back and maybe do the last two games of the season, see what that run home was like. When I was making that plan, it wasn't really dependent on Manchester City. I thought they'd win all their remaining games, but in the end they lost to Chelsea 2-1 away from home at Stamford Bridge after going down to 10 men, and could only muster a 1-1 draw against Tottenham, going behind to an early goal and a late Neil Peacock equaliser 77th minutes played. And in reality, that meant that they dropped off behind us by even more points, so we are 12 points clear going into the last game of the season. So it was actually two games ago before we even got to the episodes we were going to bring you in today's episode, where we secured that title, which is always a bit underwhelming when it happens off screen in a random match and whatever else. But what we couldn't have really kind of gambled on or picked was Man City's results and them randomly dropping points or folding a little bit in the last couple of games of the season. Looking at our schedule, we've been on a good run. So we have now won the last 6 games across all competitions straight. We've got Aston Villa as the final game of today's season. We're going to play that game. The chances are we'll probably lose it, but I'd like to win it by a few goals and potentially get a higher finishing goal difference than Manchester City. We'll see how that goes. And then we also have another chance for silverware, an FA Cup final, but we're suited up. We're very much going to enjoy the Guard of Honour that we get today on the last day of the season. We're also going to enjoy the cup final against Tottenham. Win, lose or draw. We set ourselves out at the start of the season to try and win every competition we entered, and that continues to be the goal for the rest of the series right up until the release of Football Manager 2021. But 3 out of 6, that's not bad. That's not a horrendous work. We won the Community Shield. We're unlucky to lose the UEFA Super Cup on penalties. If we can win the FA Cup and win the English Premier Division, I look at that as being a very, very successful season. As far as the squad is concerned, we've got a couple of knocks, a couple of things that we're going to keep an eye on. Esteban's got a bit of a knock. Rivera's got a bit of a knock. Lucas Gabriel, he could start, but I'm not going to risk him. We're going to bring a couple of the backup players in, let them play this last game of the season against Aston Villa at home. Tactically, we're going to drop back to positive just because whenever you play the bottom side in the division, a side that's already relegated, I should actually double check that actually. Yes, they are already relegated. There's always that chance that randomly their striker's just going to get a hat-trick. That's what Football Manager does. That's what the game is. So we'll play a little bit less aggressive, and then we have the ability to go attacking late on if we need to chase a goal or something like that. And hopefully, we'll just keep everyone fit, everyone ready to go for the FA Cup final, which will kind of be the showpiece event to close out our season. Does mean we'll bring Warburton in at centre-back. We'll bring Ferguson Yilmaz in at right-back. Martinez and Schaefer will play together up top as we give Pablo Rivera a bit of a rest. You know, it's not a weaker squad by any stretch, but it is definitely a rotated squad. Aston Villa, of course, heading down to the Championship. They will head down with Norwich and Fulham. None of those sides really tore up anything interesting in the Premier Division this season. You can see they're in quite poor form as well. Looking at other spots, Chelsea will potentially be looking to jump into Europa League spaces on the last day of the season. If they win and Newcastle lose, potentially they can jump as high as 6. They'll need Everton to drop points in that one as well, though Everton's goal difference probably counts against them quite a bit. Tottenham are an outside chance to jump into the Champions League places, but that will take Arsenal losing. United and City could potentially swap places, but I don't see that happening given that City are playing Newcastle at home. Or maybe Newcastle did beat City last time they played, and United play Arsenal at home as well. So I guess those are some big fixtures. Anything could really happen. Tottenham playing Norwich away. The potential is that they will get a good result. I wouldn't hate it if Norwich beat Tottenham going into the FA Cup final. Started a bit of complacency amongst the Tottenham squad maybe, but we'll just wait and see how we go. We are, of course, favourites playing this match at home. We do want to have a strong finish to the season. It's our first year back in the new stadium, back on the Isle of Man after a couple of seasons at Goodison Park. We really want to finish it as strong as possible. So, Mancini at goal, Abdesamad and Warburton as the defensive partnership, Carlos Andre at left wing back, Ferkin Yilmaz at right wing back, Santana and Henry at the base of midfield, Harold on the left wing, Castro on the right, Martinez and Schaefer up top. They are playing a very defensive looking 5-4-1, which, if this is what they've been playing all season, has just gotten them into all sorts of trouble. They haven't scored enough goals to stay in the league. Potentially 5 men at the back is going to be dangerous, and potentially just going to go long ball forwards to this Valmy guy. He's not their leading scorer, so I wonder who might be. Marcello Valmy, 9 goals in 36 appearances in the Premier Division this season. Not terrible. 3.5-star current ability and 4-star potential. 26-year-old Argentine under 20 striker. He's a poacher though, and I don't have much time for that role at the elite level. They've got Lloyd Hennigan on the right, who's got 1 English cap to his name. He came through at Blackburn, was a wonder kid there, went to the killer of wonder kids, Tottenham, where they didn't play him at all over 3 seasons, was at Burnley, and now Aston Villa this season, where he's experiencing relegation for, I think, the second time. I think Blackburn went down while he was playing there. They did indeed, and he stuck with them, to be fair. Got 20 assists in the Championship a good few seasons ago. Very impressive stuff from him. But let's face it, like Villa are a side we should be beating, especially if they're already relegated. Assertively, we're going to say, great opportunity to show the pundits they've been right to back you up. And we're going to head out and hopefully finish the season on a strong note and set ourselves up nicely, getting the squad fully fit, no knocks, no injuries, all the way through to the FA Cup final. Castro's gotten to goal side here, and then Schaefer's clipped the inside of the crossbar just as it cleared away by the Aston Villa defence. So I've immediately gotten him behind. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come, and I don't know why I see this every single episode or every single game that we play. Take it out, Football Manager, or make it just something that I can select. Do we want to see replays for goal chances? And if it is something you can select and I'm just an idiot and haven't found it, let me know in the comment section below. And then we just had another good chance, but again, a wide area shot, Harold straight at the keeper. Deep free kick, first highlight that we've seen for Aston Villa, and it's a goal. I tell you what, that wasn't moving particularly quickly, and it looked like Mancini potentially could have gotten across to it, but just stopped moving just as it crossed the line. It's not a good... He's right there, and then he just stops. Can we go back and have a look at that? No, I'm not going to look at it again, because it's already gone in. It's not going to change the result, but... Jesus Christ, that would be typical of this game. Abdesamad's thankfully just equalised for us, 25 minutes in, his 7th goal of the season, and I would guess all 7 of those goals have been near post headers, just like that one. Bruno Castro, set piece manager, coming to the effect in this last episode. Abdesamad across Masali did get something to it in the Aston Villa goal, but had enough power on it that it still crossed the line for the goal. We're through 30 minutes. We're going to use the Get Creative shout as well. We had a little spell of early highlights, but nothing really since. If we can try and get a goal before half time, it's going to set us up nicely for the second half. If not, we might go a bit more aggressive, a bit more attacking in the second half. We're at half time now, so 12 shots, 6 on target, 68% possession for the Isle of Man, 2 shots, 2 on target, 32% of the ball for Aston Villa. We're going to aggressively say not happy with the performance out there, and then we're also going to tactically mix it up, go a bit more aggressive, a bit more attacking, make the press a little bit stronger. And as we always do, we'll give it 15 minutes before we look at subs. There's a couple of 6.4s, 6.5s out there on the park that we need to be wary of. All right, we're through the hour mark now with no further highlights. So we're going to hit pause. See, Santana's picked up a knock. That is a concern. Carlos Andre's got a yellow card. I can probably trust Carlos Andre to get through the game, actually, because there's a few other players here I want to take off. Furkan Yilmaz not playing particularly well. We'll bring on Lucas Gabriel. And then Uli Schaefer not having the greatest game either. Maybe, yeah, let's roll the dice. Let's risk it to get the biscuit. We're going to go 3 subs after 30 minutes. Tell them we've got faith in them, and then we're also going to use a Get Creative shout. Old Faithful, after an hour, usually does the trick. They've taken off Lloyd Hennigan, their right winger. I think the only England international they had in their squad. Throwing now, deep on the left-hand side, Carlos Andre into Haji. Beats the first man. Looks to cut back towards Castro, back post. 9th goal of the season for Bruno Castro. Wonderful impact from Hisham Haji off the bench to set up the goal as well. Now it's going to be Aston Villa going to do anything really jammy. They've only had one highlight, free kick from distance we probably should have done better with. Haji, great ball across. Castro gets his leg up and across it. Left-footed volley back across the keeper. Mashali again gets something on it, but too much pace on the effort as we take a 2-1 advantage into the last 10 minutes. We are going to use it to demand more shout as well. There's a highlight here before that comes through. Long ball forward to Carlos Andre. Harold does very well to keep it in a wide left area and says Martinez down into the channel. First we've really seen from the Mexican number 10. Henri to Haji, back to Harold. Haji again. Henri working it nicely. These little triangles across the 18-yard box. Out wide right to Castro. Backstick ball towards Harold. Had no angle to work with. Does well to keep it in. Finds Martinez, and then it's scrambled away by the Aston Villa defence. Desimard comes forward, plays it to Carlos Andre on the left as the highlight continues. Cut back towards Martinez, laid off to Harold. It pinballs around and falls to Yusuf Balde. 8th goal of the season for the Spanish wonder kid. We picked him up on a free transfer. He was our only inbound signing last off-season from Real Madrid. We've had great luck with some of the free transfers that we've made from places like Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and places like that. Balde does very well, just slides that one into the far corner. He gets 2 bites of the cherry, which always helps. The rebound landed straight at his feet, on his favoured left foot. And 3-1, you would think, is enough of an advantage for us to hold on to. Castro with the ball back stick towards Warburton, and tell you what, someone might have just gone back in the box there. It's gone to VAR and a penalty is given, so it's going to be Martinez with a chance to add to his tally for the season. Ruben Martinez, left-footed penalty, and it's a great effort too, back across the keeper. Keeper didn't even move, to be honest, though. And 4-1 kind of blows out the level of comfort that we've had in this game. They have made us work for it at Aston Villa. Good penalty, hell of a lot of power on it as well. I think even if the keeper had moved, he wasn't going to get down to it in time. And with 4 minutes remaining of the Premier Division season, we should finish 12 points clear, and we're not going to beat Aston Villa. We're not going to beat Man City's goal difference, but a 4-1 victory on the final day isn't anything to be disappointed about. 26 shots, 14 on target, 63% possession for the Isle of Man. 3 shots, 2 on target, 37% of the ball for Aston Villa. We're going to passionately tell everybody. Very pleased with the result and your performance, and everyone's responded fantastically well, which is the best we could hope for. The only thing we have to be aware of now, hopefully Lucas Gabriel has gotten through fully fit, and hopefully Santana, his injury isn't too bad. That would be the only real downside. But in the end, 38 games played, 31 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats, plus 59 goal difference, and 97 points. Absolutely phenomenal stuff from the Isle of Man this season. Man City finished their year with a 4-0 victory against Newcastle. Man United beat Arsenal 4-0, but Tottenham could not follow through. Only a 2-2 draw with Norwich, and that was with a 93rd minute equaliser. So the top 4 will be Isle of Man, Man City, Man United, and Arsenal in the Champions League spots. Tottenham, Everton and Chelsea make the final day. Jump into Europa and Europa Conference League football. Newcastle are the unlucky losers. They kind of drop out. And Liverpool dropped all the way back down to 12th, but I guess that's what happens when you sell Henri Blaise. Carlos Andre's injured, but a bruised shin. That's not too bad. We can deal with that. Jose Santana's injury, 1 to 3 days. I can deal with that as well. That's no drama at all. We get £45.67 million for finishing in first place in the England Premier Division, which is fantastic for our overall balance, up to £140 million, which is incredible when you consider it wasn't that long ago that I had the club like negative £191 million just due to my spending and the way that I layered a lot of our transfer spend over a few seasons when we got into the Premier Division. The squad gets £8.75 million, which is fantastic for them, and our assignment is complete in the Premier Division, so we're just going to restart that one as well. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to clear out the squad, as we so often do. We're going to give everybody 2 days rest to go and get on the piss and have a mad Monday, but then you've got to be back to work because we still have an FA Cup final against Tottenham. There's a whole bunch of stuff we might have a look at first before we jump into that. We'll focus on the Premier Division and have a look at player stats. Alan Vasha and Guillermo Pereira at Man City, 21 goals apiece. They get the share of the Golden Boot. It may even go to Avasha because of the 29 games. I think he scored about 5 goals against us just this season, so we've helped contribute to his goals this season. Martinez is the highest scorer in the Premier Division for us, 18 goals. Very impressive. When you see that only 9 starting appearances and 18 off the bench, that's pretty impressive stuff from him. Minutes per goal, 70 minutes per goal. We might need to get Martinez back in the starting lineup next season. Schaefer is the second best for us, 15 goals. Paul Harold actually finished with 11, level with Pablo Rivera, which is a surprise given that Rivera started most of the games that he was available for, 35 starting appearances this season. Maybe his production has dropped off a little bit. Maybe that's an area that we need to look to try and improve a little bit. 11 goals is the lowest that he's gotten since we signed him 6 seasons ago. Highest average rating, Nacho from Manchester United, who consistently wins the Best Player in the Division award. He had another fantastic season, 7.66 over 26 appearances. Arnaud Henry, 7.47 over 30 appearances in the Premier Division. Very impressive stuff from him as well. Alan Vasha also up there, 7.45. But when you score goals, that's a lot easier to get. Castro, third runner-up or equal second in the assist tally with 13 this season. Mancini, third also with 18 clean sheets for the year. Lloyd Doyle and Matthias Serrani from United and City, respectively, getting amongst it. And also second in the division for yellow cards, Carlos Andre with 14 for the year. All very impressive stuff from him. We've got a couple of knocks that we're hoping are going to come through. Rivera should return to full fitness. Santana should return to full fitness. Carlos Andre, Esteban might get there. He should. So I'm hopeful that if we get through this week relatively quickly, we can get through without picking up any extra knocks or injuries or concerns or anything like that. Baldo wants to go out on loan. We're going to deal with that at the end of the season. Maybe Rivera can fix it for now. And he was unable to, but screw it. Let's get beyond the FA Cup final. Let's, through the magic of editing, jump forward to that match now, and we'll go through the squads before we head into the match. Alright, so immediately we're back earlier than expected because Arnaud Henry has won the English Footballer of the Year award. He is the second player in the last few seasons to win that award. Lucas Gabriel got it last year. Arnaud Henry got it the year before that. You can see Indicacheia's had it. Nacho's had it a couple of times. Mainly dominated by Chelsea United. Even Man City to an extent. Raheem Sterling was the last actual player, I think, that won it back in 2026. Harry Kane won it a couple of times for Tottenham. Mo Salah, Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane. There's quite a few big, impressive names there. But back-to-back wins for Isle of Man players. We're going to give Arnaud Henry a bit of congratulations, passionately, and he's been fantastic. He always responds positively to everything I say. He's the best. Players Player of the Year, he's also won. He wins Players Young Player of the Year, still only 23 years of age. It feels like we've had him forever. Doyle wins the Golden Glove Award, Mancini finishes third, and I have won the English Premier Division Manager of the Year award, which is fantastic to see. Players Team of the Year, we dominate 9 of the starting 11. Brady, the right back from Manchester City, he starts at right fullback at the expense of Lucas Gabriel, which is an interesting one. Alan Basher leads the line up top alongside Martinez, which I guess is to be expected given that he did score 21 goals in 29 appearances in the league this year. All right, just like that, we are a few days ahead on the day of the FA Cup final. There wasn't too much that happened throughout the course of the week. The squad, thankfully, got through the majority of the week without picking up any extra injuries. We've got a couple of fitness tests. You can see Lucas Gabriel only suggested for 75 minutes. Esteban should be clear to get through the 90 minutes as well, which is great for us. It's tough because I forget this every time, but the FA Cup final, you only get 5 on the bench, which is kind of unfair to some of the players that have helped us get through to this stage of the competition. And then the tough one I've also got is up front. Pablo Rivera and Uli Schaefer, I think I'll go with the start. They are our preferred. We'll try and get our strongest lineup out there, which is usually the numbers 1 to 11 as I give them out in the squad. But Ruben Martinez should consider himself very unlucky. I think he's been good this season. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to change my mind. We saw who the highest scorers were during the season in the Premier Division, and that Pablo Rivera had probably had the weakest season of the 3. We're going to give Martinez and Schaefer the chance to start. Schaefer's only got a 6.7 average rating though over his last 5. Yep, let's drop Uli Schaefer. I just keep changing my mind in this one. We're going to go with the Mexicans up top and a Mexican midfield. Hopefully they will connect and help us find the back of the net. They've got 48 goals between them this season. Hopefully they continue that run, and they're all in good form, which is what we want to go with. I think we want to reward good form right now rather than worrying too much about the lineup that is going out there, but it is still very, very strong. We're going to keep an eye on Lucas Gabriel though, which is why Yilmaz is on the bench. We might, instead of Mateo, also put Frank Richard on the bench because he can fill in at right back if that comes down to it. We're going to go attacking. We're going to go after it in the last game of the season because why not? And if we look at our previous meetings against Tottenham, we're still behind them in terms of overall wins, but we're not doing too badly. We've won the last 3 games in the Premier Division against them. We did lose in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals earlier in last week's episode where we lost on penalties, which is just a lottery. They won a few in a row before that. They won, of course, a good few chunk when we first came up into the Premier Division, which is to be expected. But we haven't really done too terribly against them. If we get a good result today, we can get our goal difference back up to at least level, if not more, and we can hopefully catch them in terms of the overall stakes in the head-to-head table as well. So a good side, not one that we need to be taking lightly, but definitely I think the current Isle of Man squad is probably a little bit stronger than this Tottenham team. We're going to have a look at their lineup though. And as you can see, they're playing a 4-2-3-1 because every big club in Football Manager 2020 plays a 4-2-3-1. They've got some big players. They haven't played Corentin Silva, which is interesting. He's a left-sided Belgian centre-back who I've been looking at for a while. Maybe. If he's on the outs, he might be someone that we look to bring in. They've gone with Snur Suisa, who is one of the 2 English central defenders. Decent, 4-star current and potential ability. Started his career at Sheffield Wednesday and has been at Tottenham now for about 10 seasons. Plays alongside Gonzalez, who looks okay, 4-star current and potential ability, 8 Argentine caps to his name, a ball-playing defender on cover. It's an interesting one. I would have thought for sure that potentially we would be coming up against Corentin Silva. They've got Sergei Logaev, a player we looked at previously, 20-year-old Russian wonder kid, deep line playmaker by trade. They're playing him a little bit deeper as a DM, I think, in that formation. 3-star current ability, 5-star potential, but we haven't scouted him in a while, so he might be a little bit better than he was the last time we had a look. Juninho out on the right wing is the last man standing of that Brazilian front 3 they had a few seasons ago with the likes of Alisson Vicente, with the likes of Garcia, I think it was, that moved on to Atletico Madrid. Very good though, 20 finishing, very impressive stuff, 19 composure as well. A striker by trade, but they're going to use him as, I'm thinking, either a ram to tour or an inside forward on this right-hand side. He is a right-footed player, so he's not going to cut back that well on his inside forward role if that's how they're using him. 7 caps, 4 goals for the Brazilian national side. He's going to play alongside Mohamed Baya up top, who is a player that was at Manchester United previously. I'm pretty sure when they sold Alisson Vicente, they might have gone in from Harbour Bay. A £55 million signing this offseason from Manchester United. Hasn't quite hit the heights I'm sure they were expecting for that outlay. 12 goals in 34 appearances, 7 assists in that time, 7.02 average rating for the season. He is their leading scorer, but again, that's not exactly like world-class stats or anything like that. Passionately, we're going to say media have given a lot of credit lately. It just seems to consistently work. Might assertively tell the attack, though, that we've got faith in them. Might do the same, actually, for everybody. Let's just tell everyone we've got faith in them. It's not that anyone really took it poorly, but, let's get everyone happy and motivated as much as humanly possible. And then let's also turn on our FA Cup final highlights, and we'll have a look at Tottenham's formation as this game continues. See if they do change anything, if things aren't going their way. They do have the first highlight of the match, though. It's a long ball forward, but it's recovered well, though, and Esteban plays it all the way back to Mancini in goal. Work this one side to side, so long ball forward towards Harold. Cuts it back to Henry in midfield. Long one over the top. Galland will recover for Tottenham. Thiago Christian brings it forward in midfield. Out to Kashiabu, the left winger. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Castro jumps in a little bit, and Galland will recover possession. Thiago Christian back to Lugaev. They're keeping possession well through midfield. Ball out wide left. Carlos Andre with the clearance. Castro's in the area, but Galland's going to get there first. Ball back to Suissa. Over the top, Lucas Gabriel loses out in the header, and Thiago Christian comes forward. Again, just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Galland with the strike. It's filled by Mancini. And Mohamed Bayer, we spoke about it in the build-up. He didn't score that many in the Premier Division, but 24th goal of the season. So he must have a fair few in FA Cup and Carabao Cup matches. And 7 minutes in, we've already fallen behind. It was a bit of a mistake from Mancini. It didn't look like the strike had that much on it, to be completely honest, from Galland. And he puts it back into a poor area. Kachiabu actually hits the crossbar, and that's how it falls back to Mohamed, who's already sliding before the ball hits the crossbar, or hits the post, sorry. And we're a goal down inside the opening 10 minutes. We're going to hit demand more, just to try and give everyone a bit of focus, see if we can't work our way back into the match. But statistically speaking, it's been all Tottenham as far as the match stats are concerned thus far. Abdesamad with a deep free kick, back to Mancini, similar way to the last highlight starting out. Carlos Andre can come forward on the left-hand side. He's picked up yellow early on. He's just a magnet for yellow cards at present. Martinez tries to cross it in. Ball makes its way to Harold. Vetlugaev puts a ball forward. Abdesamad to recover. Santana resets through Esteban, who goes all the way back to Mancini again. Just hold the ball. Just wait for the press to come. Don't have to rush it. He waits for the midfielder to commit, which is good play. And now Henry looks to send it into a channel to no one in particular. Galland plays it up the line. Castro wins it back in a good area. Cut back to Henry, who switches it out towards Harold, finds Martinez near post, and what a finish that is from Ruben Martinez. He rewards us by starting him in this game with his 27th goal of the season. It's always great when a goal hits the post on its way in, and that one just clipped the upright on its way through. Perfect placement from the Mexican. Lovely knock-on header from Harold. Martinez on his favoured left foot, just keeps it low, goes hard towards the corner, it clips the base of the post on its way in for a 1-1 draw. We are now immediately seeing a highlight after kickoff, and if they get another goal, I'll be very upset. But Lugaev, Thiago Christian now, looks to send it across to Galland, who's been busy in these first few highlights in the opening half. Torre in midfield, out to Juninho. We spoke about him in the build-up. He's an excellent finisher. Ball back stick towards him. Abdesamad should recover here. And it gives it straight back to Juninho. What was he doing? And Bayer, thankfully, pretty tame effort straight at Mancini, who pushes it out for the corner. Huge save from Mancini, making it up a little bit for the first goal. Thiago Christian, Abdesamad to Castro. What can we do? Wide right area now as we come forward. He's gotten away from a couple of markers, and he has got the pace to get away from a man in a wide area. Ball towards back stick. Harold's there, but the header always ballooning over the crossbar. Good counter-attack, though. Lovely run from Castro. And if we can get our two wingers combining on either side, we're going to be in very good shape for the second half. We've got 10 minutes remaining in the half. We're going to hit demand more again, just to give everyone some focus through to half-time. Then we might have a look at the stats at half-time and see if we want to make a tactical adjustment. Carlos Andre with the throw-in here. Harold, deep ball towards Gonzalez. Over to Henry now. Out to Lucas Gabriel in the overlap. He gets a strike away. It was flashing just past the far post. The keeper was scrambling, which always makes me think maybe it's going to sneak in far post. But just beyond it. And as halftime's called, 7 shots, 5 on target, 53% possession, 10 shots, 4 on target, 47% of the ball for Tottenham. We've gotten back into it on the attacking instruction. So I don't think tactically speaking, dropping back to positive helps us. I think we want to stay on attacking, but maybe we fire a bit of a rocket anyway and see if we can't take some ascendancy in terms of the stats. We're going to aggressively say, far from pleased with what I just saw, and 2 players seem demotivated. Arnaud Henry, who we might calmly tell that we have faith in him. You have the ability. Okay, now he looks happy, all right? And then the other one is Arnaud Henry. Let's calmly tell him You have the ability. All right, that's worked. So we've brought back the 2 players that have reacted negatively. Hopefully that means we've got a full squad ready to go and fired up for the second half. Ball starts with Tottenham here from kickoff though. They've sent it wide right. Lucas Gabriel will recover. Got to remember, I've got to take Lucas Gabriel off as well. He's only got 75 minutes in him according to the physio. Rivera beats a man, cuts it back towards Martinez. It's scrambled away by the Tottenham side. Back to Gabriel again. Switch out towards the left-hand side. Isn't great. Janino will recover possession for Tottenham. Thiago Christian, who's been busy in the first half amongst these highlights. Vetlugayev at the base midfield looks to send by into the corner. He might have gotten goal side of Abdesamad, who's not had the greatest game. If we're looking at places that we want to try and improve this team, Abdesamad might be in his last couple of appearances for the club. Or maybe he stays at the club as a backup option, but I think maybe that's an area we can strengthen. Castro, backstick ball. Galland heads it away again. He's had a good game, the fullback for Tottenham. Santana switches it out left. Castro flicks it on to Martinez. It's a very similar build-up to his first goal. A wonderful finish for his 28th goal of the season. Again, it's a flick-on header from a wide area, just into space, and he doesn't waste too much time. He hits it first time and absolutely rifled that one into the top corner. Santana's switch here is excellent. Castro with a lovely weighted, cushioned header into the pretty much the same area. I don't know if we've got tape or anything of the Tottenham goalie. Is he terrible at his near post? But that one he smashed into the top corner for a 2-1 advantage, and we take the lead for the first time in the cup final. We're also through the 60-minute mark, so we're going to hit pause. Carlos Andre's got a yellow card, which is concerning, but I think I can trust him. We know we have to take off Lucas Gabriel for Furkan Yilmaz because he can't get through the game. Pablo Rivera's also not played particularly well. Again, not having the greatest season. We're going to assertively give him a spell. We're going to assertively say to Uli Schaefer that we've got faith in him, but I think a spell for Rivera might be good. And we're also going to use a get creative shout, Old Faithful, after an hour. Usually it does the job. Wide right throw in, Furkan Yilmaz, first involvement from him. Henri's ball in is pretty poor, and now Tottenham are 1v2, but it's Mohamed Bayer. It's one back well by Esteban, did very well, stood him up in defence. Played it back to Mancini, didn't rush it. Long one forward towards Martinez, their best player out of the air. Schaefer looks to find the reverse pass for him. He's on a hat-trick here, and he's got his hat-trick in the FA Cup final. 29th goal of the season for Ruben Martinez. And I tell you what, we rotated him out of the lineup at the start of the season, but his ability, his form in the run home has been absolutely magnificent. And he can combine with Rivera, he can combine with Schaefer. And this is a wonderful, wonderful finish from distance, outside of the box. All of 3 goals on his left foot, all 3 to the right-hand side of the keeper. Again, I don't know if we've analysed that. I don't know if that's something that he's aware of. It just happens to be coincidental. But 3 excellent finishes from the big man up top. We're definitely going to try and get him back in the starting lineup next season. Switch out here towards Dobric, who's come off the bench. Good finish from Zlatko Dobric. We haven't seen much from Tottenham in quite a while. Vetlugayev with a great ball over the top. And no real urgency from Tottenham to get the ball back with 10 minutes remaining. I would have thought maybe they'd be a bit more keen. It's Esteban's long ball forward is poor. Kashiabu puts a good ball, a good switch. Oh no, sorry, it's Vetlugayev who puts a good switch across, and Dobric, excellent technique to take that one first time on the volley on his right foot into the far corner. Good goal, good finish. We're going to hit demand more here with 10 minutes remaining, and you know what? We've got one more sub up our sleeve, so let's make use of it. Warburton hasn't played poorly, and you know what? Esteban hasn't played poorly either, but we're going to take him off just because of that yellow card and because he's down on 77% conditioning. Let's just try and shore up defensively a little bit. And then we've also used a demand more shout just to hopefully give everyone some focus through to full time. Deep free kick here, 88 minutes played. Starts in our possession. Warburton with the ball. Just keep possession. Don't do anything silly. Goes to Henri, who switches it out, and it's a poor ball. Omiyonga recovers for Tottenham, and they are flying forward at the moment. Dobric has gotten goal side again, and he's found the finish. Zlatko Dobric. We didn't see anything from Tottenham until we got into the last 10 minutes or so, and now Zlatko Dobric has come off the bench and gotten his 6th and 7th goals of the season. Omiyonga, it's a poor ball forward from Arnaud Henri, that must be said. But Dobric takes a big touch around the defender, and the angles aren't great from the keeper either. Maybe could have come out a little bit further, made himself big once he took that big touch. But they've made it 3-3 with 5 minutes remaining. Let's use a get creative shout as we head into injury time. And we're through the 5 minutes. If this goes to penalties again and Tottenham beat us again, I will be very upset. 14 shots, 9 on target, 54% possession for the Isle of Man at the end of 90 minutes. 21 shots, 9 on target, 46% possession for Tottenham. We are going to aggressively say far from pleased again. And you know what? I'm going to actually calmly tell Ruben Martinez that he has been fantastic. I'm pleased with how he did today. Okay, and now he looks fired up, which is good. So that's, I think, the best we could hope for. We used all 3 subs. I've now got to trust Carlos Andre to get through 90 minutes or additional 30 minutes, without getting himself sent off. Is it a wide right throw-in, or is it a free kick? Furkan Yilmaz to take, into Castro. loses out, and then they've sent the ball over the top for Mohamed. He's 1v1 here. Someone's got to go to him. Nobody goes to him. What are you doing? Is that Esteban over there on that side? No, it's Abdesamad. And I don't know why he didn't go to the ball, but he runs back to mark the penalty spot, I think it is. We're going to check this one out in 3 dimensions and watch the strike. Like, the striker's peeled off, moved into a pocket of space, and Abdesamad, instead of running to the ball to close off the angle, runs back to the penalty spot. And he gets pretty much a 1v1 chance to finish near post. And for the second time in the contest, Tottenham have taken a lead. Galland, throw in, left-hand side. A goal here is probably going to kill the match off entirely. Galland on the overlap. He's had a good game, the left-back. Closed down here by Castro. Can we get the ball forward? Furkan Yilmaz into Henry. All the way back to Mancini. Switch sides. If you get it from the right, move it to the left. Abdesamad near. Out to Carlos Andre. He's got space in front of him. Can he carry the ball into a good area? Cuts back inside. He does lose out, but Santana's there to bail him out. But Lugayev's won it back from Carlos Andre. Switch towards midfield, Thiago Christian, and they are flooding forward here. Dobrich on the right-hand side, who is on a hat-trick, cuts in and gets the strike away. They've killed us. They've absolutely killed us. What a shit way for the curtain to come down on the season. All right, we're going to have to switch back to positive because attacking is clearly not working. We're going to use a get creative shout with a couple of minutes remaining in the first half of injury time. Warburton, switch out towards Castro. Can we get a good ball into the box, into Santana? Overlapping run here from Furkan Yilmaz. Ball towards Schaefer near post. All right, that's one. That's one to make it 5-4. Absolute chaos. This is like watching a FIFA 21 game at the moment with all the goals flying in. Can we try and push in the second half of injury time to get an equalising goal? Schaefer with the near post header. Millington does get a little bit of a hand on it, but he kind of just walks back into his own goal, and that's what you want to see when you get an equalising goal. Throw in, right-hand side, Furkan Yilmaz. Castro in possession, back to Henry. Into Santana in midfield. He's got legs for days. He's still running even into the 100th minute now. Ball back stick towards Harold. Knocked back to Carlos Andre. Santana. Andre. Switch out towards Castro. Ball over the top there for Furkan Yilmaz. Can he find the cutback towards Martinez? Knocked down for Schaefer. It's cleared away by the Tottenham defence. Throw in, right-hand side. All right, so moving back to positive has brought some more pressure back onto Tottenham. Henry. Schaefer. Wide right area that he's moved into. Can he find the cutback? He's still there with Thiago Christian, and they've given a penalty. I'm not sure what that's for. It says there was a coming together between Thiago Christian and Schaefer. We're going to take it. It's going to be Martinez to try and make it 4 in the match and 5-5 in the tie itself. Holy shit, what a game. There are twists and turns all over the shop. His 30th goal of the season. He came into this match on 26 for the year, and he has absolutely... he's going to get a goal bonus for that, I'm pretty sure, but that's fine. If we win the FA Cup on the back of his goals, he can have the goal bonus. Mohamed... immediately highlight here from kickoff, which is just terrifying. Torre into Thiago Christian. Christian's had a good game, it must be said. Dobrich has made a big difference for Tottenham off the bench as well. Gets it back on his favoured left foot. Ball in behind here for Mohamed Bayo. We've got to get goal side. Thankfully, it's a very poor effort. Looked to go near post, but just shanked it completely into the side netting. At half-time in the second half of extra time, what do we want to do here? Do we want to try and put our foot down? I feel like if it goes to penalties, we learnt our lesson in the Carabao Cup that we probably can't beat Tottenham on penalties. Maybe we just use a demand more shout, give everyone some focus. You can see we're absolutely knackered in midfield. A lot of players now down towards 59, 65, 64% condition. And a penalty shootout it will be. Tottenham beat us in the Carabao Cup on penalties. If they beat us in the FA Cup final on penalties after we led 3-1, I will be furious. Torre with the first one, left-footed penalty. Mancini was right there. Wasn't quite towards the corner either. He might have needed to do better. Martinez going to get a chance to add another penalty from the match. Left-footed ball, just goes slow to the right-hand side of the keeper. If the keeper had guessed the right way, he probably would have saved it. Dobrich, difference maker off the bench for Tottenham. Left-footed pen. Mancini in goal, and it's a good penalty to be fair. High onto the right hand side of the keeper, back across him, and right in, and had a fair bit of pace on it too. Schaefer with a chance for us. Strike partner, again a really slow penalty, just making me incredibly nervous that we're not putting these in the back of the net with any authority. Thiago Christian, the midfielder, who had a very good game, it must be said, goes straight down the middle. Mancini gets out of the way of it. Did have a fair bit of power on it though. I can't really be too mad at a goalkeeper. Santana, third penalty for us, right-footed takeout, first one of the shootout, hard and right-hand side of the keeper. The keeper did guess the right way, but it had enough power on it to thankfully hit the back of the net. Bayer, his goals got Tottenham back into the match, and his penalty saved by Mancini. All right, we're going to keep it calm, we're going to keep the lid on it. I'm not going to get ahead of it, we're just going to go through the penalties one by one. Arnaud Henry did some great things, did some terrible things as well. Good penalty though, right-hand side of the keeper. Again, the keeper gets the right way. but enough power on it to get it beyond the line and through. Sneer Suisa, the England centre-back, left-sided centre-back for Tottenham and for the English national side. He needs to score this penalty to keep Tottenham in the match. Mancini taking his time, walking back across. One huge save last time out. If he can pull out another, it'll be huge for us. Suisa, calm as you like, just slides that one into the bottom left-hand corner. Mancini did move that direction, but not far enough at all. And it's going to be Bruno Castro stepping forward to take our 5th penalty. If he scores it, we've gone perfect in the shootout and we'll win 5-4. If he misses, I've got no faith in the rest of our squad to not miss penalties. We've got takers that are like 6 and 7. Right-footed taker, Castro steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way. We get our revenge for our Carabao Cup defeat, and we lift the FA Cup final in the last match of the season. We're going to head into the post-match. In the end, we had 19 shots, 11 on target, 55% possession. We went a goal down, we equalised, we went 3-1 up, they equalised twice. We went 2 goals down in extra time. We brought that back as well. Schaefer and Martinez, absolutely huge in their performances. Martinez 9.8 and 4 goals. She'll get the Man of the Match award. 26 shots, 11 on target, 45% possession for Tottenham. It's just football. What a ridiculous thing. Passionately, we're going to say, enjoy your success, lads, and everyone's responded positively, which is absolutely fantastic. We finished the season with most players in very good morale, which is always great to see. 5-5, an FA Cup final for the ages. That one will be replayed for the next 25 years, I'm sure. £3.57 million, which is great for the overall balance. We celebrate a famous treble. I don't know if the Community Shield actually does count as a treble. I don't think it does. But anyway, that's fine. We'll let them say whatever they want. Pretty much the whole squad gets a medal, which is great to see. 22 medals awarded to the entire team. I'm in the England Hall of Fame now, which is very interesting. I'm now 10th in that overall tally. I'm still miles behind Alex Ferguson. You forget just how strong his divisional and domestic cup titles were, but potentially maybe in the next couple of seasons we can jump over some of the likes of Jose Mourinho. Even Matt Busby would be impressive. Kenny Dalglish, Zidane at Manchester United, 5 divisions, 3 domestic cups, 1,019 points. That's very impressive given that he's the other player that's not already in this Hall of Fame when the game starts. Guardiola up there with 8 domestic divisions and 7 domestic cups. Very impressive as well from him. Board's pleased with the FA Cup win. They're delighted that we've now won that twice in the last 3 seasons. Martinez, fantastic. We're going to give him a bit of praise. A match-winning performance in the FA Cup final. And we'll jump forward just a little bit. Let's see what our end-of-season awards and stuff look like for the squad itself. Carson will start next season with a yellow card suspension, so I guess he's going to miss the Community Shield final. Who will we play? We'll either play Man City because they finished second in the league, or Tottenham because they finished runners-up in the FA Cup itself. And here we go, final awards for the season. Players inducted into the overall best 11. Paul Harold's brought in at left wing, which is well overdue, it must be said. We're still playing that 4-2-3-1, which we used for quite a few seasons. Uli Schaefer makes it in, Abdesamad makes it in, albeit to the bench itself. And if we're being truthful, it should be the starting lineup that we've got right now. We're playing at a higher level than ever before. We've won the Champions League. We've won the Premier Division 2 seasons in a row. There are still some holdouts from earlier seasons. Escobar's in there, who's of course at Fulham now. He was instrumental in getting us into the Premier Division. Simeon Ure's still in there from the first season. First 2 seasons really. 28 goals and 57 appearances over the first couple of years on that right-hand side for us. Neil Peacock's a better player than Simeon Ure. It's crazy that he's still in there. Austin Samuel's in there as well. He was fantastic for us. 98 goals and 122 appearances across 3 seasons back in the lower divisions. Helped us up through the National League, the North, the National League 2 as well. He was involved heavily in before he moved on to move up a few divisions. Hisham Haji is interestingly still in there at the number 10 position, which is, I think, always interesting to see. Our team of the season is interesting. Pablo Rivera doesn't make it, and also Santana didn't make it. Neither did Lucas Gabriel. Furkan Yilmaz, David Lind, and Martinez making that lineup as well. Signing of the season, Yusuf Balde. He's the only signing we made. That makes sense. Rub Martinez actually got the fans player of the season ahead of Arnaud Henry, and he also got the goal of the year against Norwich. We're going to check this one out. I can't actually remember what this goal was. The Norwich game is not springing to mind as being anything interesting. I'm sure we won it. Rivera finds Martinez and he gets a goal side and he's got a long way to go. It's going to need a hell of a finish. And it's just a straightforward goal back across the keeper to give us a 1-goal advantage 7 minutes in against Norwich. It's not that impressive, to be honest. I would have thought for goal of the season it would perhaps be something more. He did get a hat-trick in that game. It is worth noting. Season review, we won the treble. Let's call it that. Let's put it in air quotes though. Winners of the Premier Division, winners of the FA Cup, and winners of the Community Shield. We lost the Carabao Cup quarterfinals to Tottenham, as I mentioned. We lost the Super Cup to Inter on penalties as well. Champions League, we lost on aggregate across 2 legs with Barcelona. Barcelona, a good side. We'll go again in the Champions League. I think we do want to try and win that competition again before the season finishes. We've got some interesting stuff coming through, but it's not anything crazy. Win the Premier Division, win silverware, qualify for the Champions League next season, and reach the semi-finals of the Champions League is all that they want for next season, which is fine. We can try and figure that out. Go and talk to the squad. We're going to assertively say congrats on winning the title. It's a great achievement and you deserve a good break now. Make sure you come back fully rested in good possession. I don't want to say we want to win it next time around. Let's just say we want to qualify for the Champions League, and everyone's responded positively, which is absolutely perfect for us. Injury report, Arnaud Henry, 7 injuries in 4 weeks in total. 4 weeks is the longest spell. 6 injuries for Lucas Gabriel, 4 for Esteban. Not great when they are 3 of our key and critical players. Hopefully they'll get through that and be okay for next season. And we've got a training camp that we can do. Where are we going to go? Singapore, Hong Kong, USA or China. I think we'll go to the US. Big media market. Let's see if we can't grow the club by getting some of our games televised before everyone heads away for a break. And I'll tell you what, next season we've got the same. We don't have the UEFA Super Cup. We're only going to have 5 competitions that we're going to try and qualify for. But I tell you what, if we've only got 5, we should be next season winning 5 competitions. That's the goal that we're setting ourselves for next year. We're going to get that done before Football Manager 2021 comes out, or we won't, and it'll just be, I don't know, a missed opportunity, I think, because this is a very, very strong squad and a very, very strong lineup. As always, guys, thank you so much for the continued support on the series and on the channel. The growth throughout Football Manager 2020 has been fantastic. I can't wait for Football Manager 2021 and a lot of great and exciting things we've got happening on the channel. There will be announcement videos for certain things over the next couple of weeks as we get closer to the beta release date, which should be around November 10th, I think, roughly, give or take a couple of days here or there. If you want to help celebrate our Premier Division title, our FA Cup win, you can drop a like on this video if you want to be kept up to date on all of our future videos as they continue to release right up until the end of the Football Manager 2021, I guess, and the start of Football Manager 2021. You can subscribe to the channel as well, but more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching. That's the part that means most to me. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.